Yes, ma'am.
And we just had a case out of the Supreme Court few weeks ago where I think it was Kavanaugh. I may be corrected on that, but actually went back to one of the founding documents from the 1600s that I think was from Maxims of Law, but he was pulling out law from the 1600s because these are, I mean, these are sovereign God-given rights and laws that our nation was founded upon. And so when people understand the powers that be that are trying to take over our nation and have been so for a little while now, these are globalists, and they do they cannot have a people who believe in sovereignty, because then we, number one, can't be controlled. Number two, you know, we will have no core foundation, and so we can be kind of molded into anything they want us to be, which is actually what Hitler was doing with the youth of the time. And it's kind of scary because it's the stuff we've been seeing going on here in America.
Right.
And
Right.
that is why it's so important for Americans to get back to our foundation and understand that history. Because, again, like I said, if you don't know who you are and where you come from, you can just be molded and created into being whatever someone with an agenda wants you to be.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
and that is the heart and core of why I do what I do.
That's
So,
amazing. That is so amazing. So, um, with and you said so much there. I'm trying to nail down into one of the things because I've got a couple of questions for you about that. Around the dinner table, uh, grandparents, what type of you said that Thomas Jefferson didn't want to be the president at the time. Now, being the president at the time was quite fairly new. There were only two presidents prior, and the first one was George Washington, who's very well revered, and then John Adams, and the France had their independence. So Thomas Jefferson writes the American Independence, the Declaration of Independence, but then he's instrumental in the French Revolution and the French independence,
hmm,
and he's the Secretary of State,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so you're kind of like, okay, I'm kind of done with this, right? And so then he goes and he's nominated to be president of the United States after John Adams.
Hmm.
What kind of a person was he? Was he quiet? Was he loud? Was he obnoxious? Was he shy?
Um, you know, we never talked about personality traits so much, but I always found it interesting because I kind of feel like I'm a lot like him because I'm really explorative and I love to travel, and I just like to explore and learn while I'm out and about exploring. And so he was that way, and like I said, he wanted to go with Lewis and Clark.